Mars, a planet that has fascinated humankind for centuries, a planet that seems so close, yet so far beyond our reach. Scientists call it a lifeless desert, a cold and barren world where nature itself refuses to allow life to exist. And yet, even with all its dangers, humanity's greatest dream of survival may one day depend on this silent red planet. Because while scientists have discovered ways to keep humans alive there with technology, Mars itself has plans of its own. Hidden within its endless deserts and valleys lies a phenomenon so powerful, so destructive, that it once silenced one of NASA's most loyal machines forever. Before we discuss the mysterious storms of Mars, we need to understand one thing. Why are we so obsessed with this dead world, nearly 210 million kilometers away from us? The answer lies not just in curiosity, but in survival. Earth, our home, is changing. Glaciers are melting. Rivers are drying up. The equator is becoming hotter and hotter, making regions unlivable. Scientists estimate that by the year 2100, even if we somehow control greenhouse gases, most glaciers will already be gone. Fresh water will become one of the rarest resources on Earth, and beyond climate change, the dangers do not end. A global pandemic, a nuclear war, or the impact of an asteroid, any of these events could wipe out human civilization, just as dinosaurs were once erased from the face of this planet. And so, for years, humanity has been searching for a second home. That home cannot be on Earth. It must be somewhere else, somewhere beyond, which brings us to Mars. Scientists believe that if we want humanity to survive for thousands of years, we must build a human colony there. But why Mars? The answer is simple. Mars shares surprising similarities with Earth. A Martian day, called a sol, is 24.6 hours long, just 36 minutes longer than our day. Mars has seasons too, summer, winter, autumn, and spring, though each lasts longer because a Martian year is bigger. Evidence of ancient rivers, lakes, and glaciers has been found. Mars has poles, covered with frozen ice. It has mountains, valleys, deserts, and volcanoes. In fact, the largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, is found on Mars, 3 times taller than Mount Everest. And yes, Mars has gravity and even an atmosphere, though thin and weak. All of these features made Mars the chosen candidate for colonization. But let's not fool ourselves. Mars is not Earth. There is frozen water there, but not flowing rivers we can simply drink from. Extracting that ice from the soil requires heavy equipment. Oxygen. On Earth, 20% of our air is oxygen. On Mars, it is just 0.13%. The rest, almost 100%, is carbon dioxide. That means humans will suffocate without machines to make oxygen. And the temperature. During the day, it might reach -6 degrees Celsius. At night, it drops even lower, into deadly freezing levels. To survive, humans will need protective suits and heated shelters. And there is another invisible danger. Mars has no strong magnetic field to shield us from the sun's deadly radiation. Without protection, humans could face cancers and other fatal illnesses. Scientists, however, have been working for decades on solutions. To make oxygen, NASA created MOXIE, a project designed to produce oxygen from Mars's carbon dioxide atmosphere. MOXIE compresses the CO2, heats it, and separates oxygen, powered by solar panels. For shelter, inflatable habitats and underground bases have been designed. The idea is to hide in caves, mountainsides, or even beneath layers of Martian soil. Radiation shields, protective suits, and bunkers may be humanity's armor. Water can be extracted from underground ice through drilling and heating. This water can be used for drinking, farming, and producing oxygen. As for food, scientists propose controlled environment agriculture, sealed greenhouses where light, water, and air are all artificially regulated. NASA has already tested this successfully in Antarctica and aboard the International Space Station. It seems we have a solution for water, oxygen, radiation, cold, and even food. But Mars still holds one last problem, a problem for which no solution has been found. Dust storms. At first glance, Mars looks quiet, a still, lifeless desert with endless red sands, scattered rocks, and thin air. But appearances can deceive, because in the distance, rising across the horizon, comes something terrifying, a wall of dust, a storm like no other in the solar system. On Earth, storms may swallow cities or regions. On Mars, they swallow entire planets. These are not simple storms. They are planet-wide superstorms, born when frozen carbon dioxide sublimates, turning directly from ice into gas, releasing energy that drives ferocious winds. Every 3 to 4 years, Mars is consumed by such storms. Dust so thick, so dense, that sunlight is blocked for months at a time. And this is where technology fails. Solar panels cannot generate power. Communication systems are silenced. Machines shut down. Even the most advanced technology humanity has ever built can collapse before the fury of these storms. On the 24th of January 2004, NASA's Opportunity rover landed on Mars. It was designed for a mission of just 90 days. But this little machine kept working, exploring, discovering, and sending back data for over 15 years. Then, in 2018, it met the wrath of a Martian dust storm. Within weeks, sunlight reaching its solar panels dropped by 96%. Its batteries starved, its systems weakened. For months, NASA tried to wake it up, and then came the final signal, a message that read, "My battery is low and it's getting dark." After that, silence. Opportunity never woke again. This was not just the end of a rover. It was a reminder that while we may dream of making Mars our second home, the red planet has its own rules. It is not a gentle world waiting to welcome us. It is a harsh, violent place that has killed its own rivers, its own atmosphere, and perhaps its own chance at life. And yet, despite the dangers, despite the storms that could smother entire civilizations, humanity continues to dream, because Mars represents more than a planet. It represents survival, hope, and the possibility that even when Earth fails, the human story may continue elsewhere. But one question remains unanswered. Can we truly tame Mars? Or will Mars always remain a world that resists us, testing us, breaking us, and reminding us of our limits? The journey to Mars is not just about rockets and technology. It is about humanity itself, about whether our courage, our science, and our will to survive are strong enough to face the greatest storms in the solar system. Mars is waiting, silent, cold, and red, a world of dust and storms. a world that could become our second home or our final frontier.